This is Ryan Elliott, Boxing Social in association with Betfred, and delighted to be joined by Adam Blue Nose Lopez, fresh off his victory over Louis CORIA the other night. Adam, thank you very much for making the time today. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm very good, but let's talk about you. As I mentioned, you're on television, you're back in action the other night against Louis CORIA. How are you, first of all? How are you feeling after that fight?
I'm finally feeling good. The first few days I was in bed, resting, icing, and just recovering. But yesterday I started feeling a little bit better. Went for a few walks, and today, as you can see, I'm out at the park getting some sun, feeling a whole lot better.
Has it just been a case of taking it easy since the fight? I'd imagine there's not a great deal to do anyway.
Yeah, can't do much anyways. But just been resting. When I got back, spent some time with my family, had some downtime. But just staying off my feet and just resting as much as I can right now.
What's the reaction been like back home with friends and family? You had this televised fight, a fantastic fight by all accounts as well. If you haven't seen it, go watch it straight away. What was the reaction like when you got home?
The phone's been blowing up. Everyone loved the fight. The family, the close friends that I got, they were a bit worried because they've never seen my face swell up like that. But we went to war, Louis and I. It was a hell of a fight. But yeah, I'm doing good. I'm okay. Nothing serious. Couple of bumps and bruises, but I'll be back.
Before we talk about the fight in a bit more detail, let's talk about the event. The last time I saw you in person was at the MGM grounds. This time, I'd imagine it was a little bit different to then, fighting in the bubble and being around the bubble in fight week. Talk to me about that experience of being around there for fight week.
The bubble. It was strange. They had a lot of rules. We were stuck on the 12th floor, basically from our room to the eating area and to the gym. And that was kind of it. I would walk around the 12th floor. Like when I was bored, I would just call my coach, like, hey, you want to go for a walk? And we just walk up and down the hallways. You just in bed most of the time, which you're supposed to do before a fight. But just not having the freedom to do anything, it was kind of weird. Everything was scheduled to use the gym. They give you a certain time, like, okay, you get the gym at this time and you got to be out by this time so they can go sanitize it for the next fighter. But everyone followed the rules. We did what we had to do and we put on a great show. Top Rank is a great company for handling it the way they handled it.
How was it making weight in these unusual circumstances? You haven't got the complete freedom you'd normally have. How did it differ at all?
I think the hard thing was the eating. The food they offered wasn't the best in my opinion. And I like to have a very strict diet, especially that close to the fight. I'll only eat just fish and vegetables, and they didn't really have that, so I had to start ordering room service. I think that was a hard thing, but I made weight pretty well. Before going over to Vegas, we weren't sure what the circumstances of the situation was going to be, so we made sure going over there we only had a few pounds to lose, so we didn't have to kill ourselves, and we weren't sure what we had to do, so just made sure everything was correct before going in.
So let's talk about the fight, Adam. Louis came out fast. He was throwing a lot of punches. He was putting a lot of pressure on. Is that more or less what you expected?
Yeah, we expected him to put pressure. Watching his previous fights, I didn't think he had the ability to box with me. So we were like, okay, he's probably going to put pressure, try to outwork me. I guess I gave him the first 2 rounds for sure. I was fighting his fight. I was kind of sitting in there. I think the reason being because when I was inside, I was trading punches with him, and I hit him with a couple good body shots, and I heard the wind come out of him. And I was like, okay, he's got to start slowing down now. Like that, I know that hurt, but he just took it. He took it like a champ, and he kept going forward. So I was like, okay, he's not slowing down. Let me take a different approach and start using my boxing skills. And that's what happened in round 3.
When you come back to the corner after those first 2 rounds and you've been standing there trading with him, what's Buddy saying to you at that point?
He said, get out of the inside. He said, that's his game. That's where he's good at, and you don't want to give him no chances. He said, I need you to get out and box. And I told him, I was like, buddy, I got some good body shots in there. Like, I'm going to slow his ass down. He said, I don't care. Okay, he's like, if you get your body shots, get him in, turn, and get back to the jab. And that's what I started doing, Every now and then we get in the inside and get my shots off, and I get back outside and hit him with the jab and try to control the distance.
After 4 rounds, you really had your rhythm. I think I had it 2-2 at that point, and you're really starting to get your jab going as well. Could you feel him starting to tire at that point after all the energy he'd exerted in the first couple of rounds?
No, I did not. I did not feel him tire at all. I think in the fourth, fifth, I think he did kind of start to slow down, and that's when I started getting my rhythm. I started picking it up. I think it was just frustrating for him when I started moving on him, and he was eating my jab a lot. I think that's when it kind of just frustrated him. But I heard Robert just pushing him, keep going, let your hands go, keep putting the pressure, and that was the game plan.
Now, you told me when we spoke just a couple of weeks ago before this fight, this is arguably more important than the Valdez fight for your career. How do you reflect on your performance? How do you grade your own performance?
After the fight, I felt like I did very bad. I felt like I had a lot of mistakes, and I went into his fight. I fought his fight a few rounds. The first 2 rounds, definitely fought his fight, and then in the middle rounds, it was kind of back and forth, very close. So, I mean, I'm just my toughest critic, and I wasn't happy with my performance. I think I got hit way more than I've ever been hit before. But once I got back to my room and I watched the fight, I said, okay, I did better than I thought I did, than I felt I did. But yeah, it was it was a tough fight. It was nuts and guts. I had to use my heart. That's what got me through the fight. Just had to dig deep. It was one of those fights. It was a war. But I think I'd give myself a B minus, maybe C plus, around there. Definitely not my sharpest fight, but fans got a treat.
Have yourself and Buddy spoken about the fight, about your performance, any sort of changes? I know it's early days, but have you talked about that?
Yeah, Buddy was happy with it. He said, you went in there and you made the adjustments. He said you definitely won the fight 6-4. He watched it. He actually texted me yesterday. He said you won the fight 6-4. He said I watched it. But he was happy. He said, you dug deep. When I asked you for that last round, you gave it to me when it was the toughest fight. He said you dug deep and you asked when I asked you to do something, you did it. And against a tough opponent, it's hard to do. But he was happy. He was happy with the performance. Definitely got some things to work on. And we went over him a little bit, but he went home, so he's home with his family. He'll be back in about a week, and we'll sit and talk a little bit more about it.
Now, after the Valdez fight, I think everybody was expecting your phone to be ringing. Everybody wanted to see more of Adam Lopez after a fight like that. Again, after what we saw last week, an unbelievable fight. You got the win. Are you expecting them opportunities to keep on coming this year?
I think so, but my last 3 fights have been very tough. I got dropped the last my fight in Orlando against John Carlos Rivera, I got dropped. Valdez, I got dropped. This fight was, as we all saw, my face was very swollen. So the last 3 fights were very tough. I think I need a couple stay busy fights. Just get a couple wins in, and nothing too crazy. I'm still young. I don't want to short my career up. I want to have a long career. I definitely got some things to work on. Get my defense a little tighter. But I definitely think that fight right there is going to open up doors for big names. There's a lot of big names in the featherweight division, and I think that fight right there will just get the fans to want it more, and push for it. And I think Top Rank is willing to make these fights happen.
Do you think that's a mature Adam Lopez that we're seeing now? This was the Adam Lopez that early in his career was taking on unbeaten fighters, taking anyone put in front of him, and now you're here after a fight like that saying, maybe I just need to take a step back and have a couple keep busy fights. Do you feel like a more mature fighter these days?
I definitely know. I learned the hard way as in my early stages of my career, and I should have taken some easier fights back then. And I earned these fights, I earned these paydays, I earned these wins. And it's a lot of wear and tear on my body. So definitely feel like time for a couple stay busy fights. Just get some good exposure. Get a decent opponent, but no fight of the year candidate.
I'm sure we're going to forgive you for that much, Adam, at this point. But look, I'll understand you'll want some rest. I'm sure you want to be back out before the end of the year, though. How are your hands, etc., feeling? Do they feel okay?
Yeah, my left hand from the jab was a bit swollen, but it's actually a lot better today. The swelling went down, the pain went away. It's just about back to normal. I think more of the swelling's on my face still. And yeah, that's it. My body feels better. I got some. I've been in bed for the last few days, resting, taking Epsom salt baths, and doing what I got to do. I feel a lot better. I think I might start working out in about a week or so. Just start going for little runs and staying in shape.
Now, if everything goes to plan, we don't see any more fight of the years for a couple of fights. You keep on winning, building momentum and learning. Saying down the line in 12 months' time or so, can you give me the one name, one guy you're looking at and think, eventually when I'm in the right place, that's the guy I want to target?
I want CONLAN. I definitely would love that fight. I think he's got a lot of hype behind him, and I think they'll get him a title before me. So if that's the case, I would love to be challenging him for his belt. Conlan's a great name. If Shakur stays at 126, I would love that fight. Magdalena's a good one. Dogbo's a good one. Those are the main ones. And the great thing is all those guys are with Top Rank. So we're all under the same banner, and it should be easy to make.
Just to stick with Conlan quickly, a big name both sides of the pond with that Irish connection. He's got a big following in New York and back home over here as well. Is that a fight you'd be willing to travel for if need be in the future?
Definitely, and I'm sure that would be the case. They definitely got a little bit more money behind him, and they'd probably want him to fight in his hometown or in New York where he usually fights, and that wouldn't be a problem. I'm used to going to the hometown and be that underdog and everyone against me. That'd be fine. I'll take that risk. It's a good fight, and I believe I could win that fight.
Now, Adam, you mentioned Jesse Magdaleno, who was obviously on the same bill as you. One of the most bizarre fights you'll ever see with the NFL Vicente. Did you have a chance to see that fight at all?
I saw some highlights, but no, I did not. I didn't get to see it after my fight. I was just in my room icing up my face and recovering. But I heard it was a lot of low blows, and they're intentional from what I've heard and kind of saw. It's not fair. It's not right. I don't think that's cool at all.
Now, Adam, you've seen enough of my face over the last couple of weeks, and I'm sure after a fight, you're ready to get away and spend some time yourself. So, final one from me. To everyone who's been tuned into the fights and watching these interviews and showing you support, what would you say to them?
Thank you. I really appreciate it. I've been working my whole life at this, and it's finally all starting to come together. And we're not going to slow down now. We still got a long way to go. We still got some big fights to make. Hopefully by next year, we'll have a world title around my waist. And from there, we're only moving up. We're going to keep putting the pressure on all these fighters. We're going to get these fights done, and we're going to make some exciting fights for all you guys.
Adam, a pleasure as always. Congratulations on the win once again. Enjoy the rest, and I'm sure we'll bug you again very soon when you've got fighting.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, man.